Many nations have developed various megaprojects that have resulted in a fundamental change in international commerce and infrastructure links. They are created from the ground up, frequently amid a great deal of red tape and criticism. Here are 10 largest and most impressive megaprojects in the world. China's new Silk Road project. Ancient Silk Road was built during the Roman Empire. China, following the 2020 pandemic, ties with many of its trading partners, particularly the USA, became tense. To ensure that the country continued to prosper, a brand new double trade corridor was announced by President Xi Jinping in 2013, expected to re-establish conduits between China and its western neighbors, most notably Central Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. China's trade routes with nations that are home to about half of the world's population will be redesigned through the Silk Road Initiative. At an estimated cost of $900 billion, this new project is one of the largest infrastructural developments and aimed at enhancing trade links, notably through infrastructure investments. It covers land routes, the belt, and maritime routes, the road, according to its action plan published in 2015. NEOM City. NEOM stands for New Future, being built in Saudi Arabia, designed as a living laboratory which will include cities, villages, ports, and business districts. By 2030, it will house over 1 million visitors from all over the world. It will likely cost about $500 billion in all. NEOM will be made up of 10 projects, which they refer to as regions. A port city named Oxagon, which is one of the regions to be constructed in the shape of an octagon on the Red Sea. The port and logistics center are said to be the world's largest floating structure. The first component anticipated for completion is the luxury island of Sindala, hoping to welcome its first visitors in 2024. The Saudi Vision 2030 initiative is to diversify the country's economy to lessen its dependence on oil. South-North Water Transfer Project, China, $78 billion as of 2014. Almost 50% of China's population lives in the north, while only 20% of China's water resources are used to support this population. China is building 3 enormous canals that are more than 600 miles or 966 kilometers long, each to supply water from the country's 3 major rivers to the north as a corrective measure. You read it right. The project is anticipated to be finished in 48 years and will provide 44.8 billion cubic meters of water annually. This Chinese megaproject, which is already almost 3 times as expensive, proposes to use 3 enormous canals to drain water from the Yangtze River and deliver it to the country's north. California High-Speed Rail, United States. 8 main cities in the state will be connected by a 1,300-kilometer or 808-mile high-speed rail network. This project has 2 stages. Phase 1 will build a bridge from Los Angeles to San Francisco, and Phase 2 will provide connections to adjacent Sacramento and San Diego. It will feature 24 stations and utilize 320 km/h high-speed electric trains that can complete the journey under 3 hours. Each 200-mile-per-hour train will be entirely electric and run only on renewable energy sources. Work started in 2015, though anticipated to take 13 more years than originally projected in 2008, and completed in 2033. Though if sections of the rail are delayed again, the deadline won't be met. It was expected to cost $33 billion, but now costs over $98 billion because a large portion of it is on hold. Dubai Land, Dubai, $64 billion. Dubai Land is a theme park with hotels, theme parks such as Universal Studios Dubai Land, restaurants, zoos, gardens, and pretty much anything else you can imagine that would draw tourists from all over the world compared to Disneyland. When building started in 2003, it had a difficult time acquiring money and completing projects, so to continue development, $55 billion in funding was secured in 2013. Well, during the past 2 to 3 years, popular attractions like Legoland Dubai and the renowned Dubai Butterfly Garden have opened on the land set aside for Dubai Land. An enormous theme park will debut in Dubai in 2025 and will feature the largest hotel in the world, that's 6,500 rooms, as well as sports facilities, eco-tourist destinations, science attractions, and a 3 million square meter mall. To experience it firsthand, however, you'll have to wait until 2025. International Space Station. 7. Space. Alright, so this one isn't technically in the world, but it is of the world. An astounding $60 billion will be spent on modifications for the International Space Station, or ISS, which is built by a group of 15 countries and 5 space organizations and orbits the planet once every 92 minutes. Other sources claim that the current recommended expansion plans, which have not yet been finalized, could cost more than $1 trillion, but less than $150 billion overall as of 2010. Since it was launched in 2000, more than 200 astronauts from different countries have traveled to this galactic location. The ISS will be able to accommodate up to 1 million people if the additions move through. The International Space Station functions as a port for numerous spacecraft as well as an orbiting laboratory. Al Maktoum International Airport. This airport, which began operations in 2010 and is expected to be finished in full in 2018, will be the biggest in the world in terms of both size and passenger volume. It will be able to handle 160 million passengers annually, land 4 planes simultaneously, and accommodate 200 wide-body aircrafts at once. Al Maktoum International Airport in Dubai is the world's largest construction site, covering more than 21 square miles. The airport will be able to accommodate 200 wide-body aircraft once it is finished. The second phase of the airport's expansion is expected to cost more than $32 billion in total. The most recent expansion phase was supposed to be finished in 2018, but it has been postponed and no firm date has been set for it. London Crossrail Project. You may not be aware, but the London Underground was the first of its sort and it's still expanding enormously. Construction crews tried finishing up the Elizabeth Line, a nearly 13-year project that will connect 40 stations and 26 miles of tunnel. The cost? About $23 billion, but because of the risk and potential effects of additional COVID-19 outbreaks, the Elizabeth Line's delivery, which was already in its complicated last stages, is currently being finished at a moment of considerable uncertainty. The first new tracks debuted in 2018 after construction started in 2009 and was completed in stages. The teams working behind the scenes aim to start passenger services on the route in the first half of 2022. Japan's Chuo Shinkansen project. Japan has a lot of mountains, yet its innovative train system makes it one of the most linked nations in the world, and it boasts a perfect track record of 60 years with no accidents. Chuo Shinkansen is a high-speed train in Japan. Travelers may take these cutting-edge trains from Tokyo to Nagoya in 40 minutes. Moving with less friction, it allows the speed to increase to around 603 km per hour. Before work on extending the line to Osaka begins, the project is anticipated to be finished by 2027. This project, with an estimated cost of $90 billion, the Tokyo-Nagoya line will be underground for 86% of its length, necessitating massive tunnel construction. The trains on this route are built using superconducting magnetic levitation, or maglev system, and they will travel at a speed of about 313 miles per hour. Qatar's Lusail City Megaproject. Qatar's Lusail City Megaproject, which is the last one we will explore, is a self-contained sustainable metropolis that is more than just another development that represents Qatar's advancements on a large scale. Lusail City was built by Lusail Real Estate Development Company on behalf of Qatari Diyar. It incorporates the real estate development aspect of Qatar's National Vision 2030. With 170,000 projected to work on the various parts of the city and 80,000 anticipated visitors to its entertainment, recreation, shopping and hospitality amenities, Lusail will have more than 200,000 citizens living in its picturesque surroundings. The 19 districts of Lusail City will include a whole range of community needs, including schools, mosques, healthcare facilities and retail establishments. The stadium alone are approximately $45 billion. The city has a sophisticated intra-mobility network, a light rail network, a water taxi transit system, a network for bicycles and pedestrians, and a park and ride system.